This tutorial discusses practical tips that can be used to help locate and evaluate quality websites that are appropriate for your research and academic work. This tutorial contains two parts. Part 1, finding potentially good websites, and Part 2, evaluating websites. Being someone who can find, evaluate, and use quality websites effectively in academic work does not happen overnight. Wherever you are on the journey, welcome to this short tutorial. Part 1, finding potentially good websites. When it comes to searching for information, one author claims that we are currently dominated by the infrastructure of the Internet, the search engine of Google, and the information source of Wikipedia. True for you? If you sometimes use Wikipedia to get your bearings, note the references and further reading sections, which are supposed to be from more trusted sources, at the bottom of the page. If you frequently use Google, use the advanced search features to search more intelligently. And of course, frequently remind yourself that the thought, if it's not on the web, it doesn't exist, is false. If your teacher is allowing you to use websites in your paper or project, they have authoritative websites in mind. This is what we mean by quality websites. Finding potentially good websites can be challenging. It helps if you already know a lot about your topic, or if you can get good recommendations from sources you're confident are reliable. But what if you don't have this option? First of all, note that some highly respected experts often have their own blogs or websites and are happy to interact with people there. If someone has been widely published in respected journals or trade publications, it is a good indication that their blog or website will be worthwhile. Also, perhaps their Twitter feed or Delicious account. Also, some respected journals have their own blogs or Twitter feeds. Second, note that each website's URL domain can give you some clues about its purpose. In general, .com and .net are for businesses, which of course try to make money for info and services provided. .gov are government sites. These often have helpful statistics and other info and resources about state and federal governments and their agencies. .edu are educational institutions. .org are nonprofits, most of the time. Note that .edu can include personal student and faculty pages as well as official information. Use Google Advanced Search to limit searches to these domains. Third, if you do find a site you know is authoritative, you can find other sites which link to it, which also may be good leads for authoritative information. Again, you can use Google Advanced Search to make these connections. Part 2, evaluating websites. A popular educator named Alan November has said of the Internet that students should always seek to find out who is saying what to them, for what reasons, for what gain, and when it was said. His advice is good, even if it does seem very cynical. It's both great and maddening that anyone can put up anything on the web. How can we detect and avoid the bad resources that are out there, or as media critic Howard Rheingold says, the CRAAP, information tainted by ignorance, inept communication, or deliberate deception? It can be helpful to run a website you find through the CRAAP test, a diagnostic developed by California State University. First, let's take a look at each of these rules of thumb in a little bit of detail. Currency. First of all, does your topic feature information that is time sensitive? If so, is the site up to date on the latest research? If it is a web page, when was it last updated? Relevancy. How relevant is the particular source to your topic of interest? Is the topic matter of the site too narrow or broad? Does it answer part of your research question? Is it too simple or advanced for your needs? Authority. Consider the source. Who claims accountability and responsibility for the information? Who is the author? What are their qualifications and credentials? What is their background, education, and experience? Are they a hobbyist, a self-proclaimed expert, or an enthusiast? Accuracy. Is the information on the site accurate? Can the facts be verified and claims confirmed or supported by other research or other sources? Do they have footnotes and citations, and if so, from what kinds of sources? Are opposing viewpoints presented and represented fairly? Purpose. The reason a resource is published is always related to who published it. If it is an individual, who is he or she and what do they do? If not, are they a for-profit business, an educational institution, a cultural or religious society, a governmental agency? What are the particular beliefs, goals, biases, and conflicts of interest these persons or persons in these groups may or do have? Second, if you want to find out more about a particular author or organization, this can be done in several ways. Look at the About Us, philosophy, background, or biography link. Look up the author's name with a search engine, with and without quotes. Google Blog Search is a good way to do this. If you'd like to look at the other suggestions, pause the tutorial now. Of course, both tips like these and the CRAAP tool aren't perfect, and none of this is a substitute for paying close attention to human nature in general. If you want to ramp up your critical thinking in this regard, take a moment to pause this tutorial and consider the following points. If you find those statements interesting, you may also enjoy the material covered on the How Do I Decide Which Sources Are Good to Cite tutorial in the How Do I section under Help on the library webpage. At this point, I should mention that the library has access to books and journals that are not freely available on the web. Often, we must pay for the best information, and this the library has done. That said, just because you use these resources does not mean you should leave the CRAAP diagnostic and your critical thinking abilities at the door. In the end, we must think for ourselves about who we are going to trust. We are responsible for which authorities we align ourselves with. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions, please contact the reference desk.